think I'm live. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Dora, a holistic stress and resilience coach from Dora Chan Yoga. I educate and empower women and mothers to break free from fear, anxiety, and insecurity, limiting beliefs, and to see themselves as truly the beautiful and authentic goddesses that they are. So, welcome to my weekly Tuesday Connect, where we talk about various topics on whole person wellness in body, mind, and soul. So, today I want to talk about body sensing. So, let me start by explaining what I mean by this. So, body sensing is really a simple practice of paying attention to the sensations of your body. Now, this may seem very simple, and you may even think, wow, I feel sensations in my body. I know when I'm hot or cold, or I feel pain or tension. So, how is this different from sensing or from body sensing? And why should I care about this practice at all? So, first of all, your body is constantly picking up signals externally and internally. It's paying attention to the environment around you and also monitoring your physiological state. Now, most of these signals are unconscious, meaning that you don't have to think about them. And in fact, you are not even aware or conscious about these signals that you are receiving most of the time. So, these unconscious signals that you are receiving, they come to you and they're constantly surveying your environment and making sure that you are safe, letting you know when there's a threat. Now, these signals, because they're unconscious, they don't pass through your conscious thinking mind, which are received. So, these unconscious signals are received and felt by your body. And this is sometimes called your gut feeling, your instinct or your intuition. And as a society, we have been told for the longest time to ignore our gut feelings, right? Now, however, research now shows us that our gut feeling or our intuition are actually really important, and they serve as great messengers for our bodies. And they're no less important than our intellectual conscious mind. In fact, a lot of physical and mental illnesses are a result of or exacerbated by the disconnection between mind and body. So we have been conditioned to ignore our gut feeling, and most of us do not know how to listen to our bodies. We no longer speak the same language of our body, and we're not able to connect with our bodies. And when this happens, we're missing out on more than 90% of incoming information informing us about our surroundings and ourselves. Yes, most of the information that we receive are unconscious. And like I said, the unconscious speaks to us or speak to our bodies and not through our minds. Now, another reason why it is important for us to connect with our bodies is because any unprocessed emotions or negative experiences or traumas that we had experienced in the past, many of them stem from childhood experiences, they get stored in our bodies. And, physically and energetically, this is sort of in a way trapped in our bodies, and it can cause all sorts of issues for us in the long run. Now, and again, this is both issues could be physical or psychological. So I highly recommend you read the book by Dr. Gabor Mate, which is called When the Body Says No. He has actually many amazing books, and he's got a new one that I think it's coming out or it's just out. So definitely, if you get a chance, that's a great book to read. How he talks about the connection between mind and body, in terms of how our psychology affects our physical bodies, and the types of illnesses that are manifested from different psychological states. And then another great book is by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, and the title of the book is The Body Keeps the Score. And again, it talks about this mind-body connection from a very scientific point of view, because one's a doctor and the other one's a psychologist, a research scientist. So there's a lot of science that's actually backing this link between mind and body. But unfortunately, our as you may have experienced, it takes a long time for the rest of the medical community and society to catch up to these things. But the science is definitely there, and this mind-body connection, even though the science is only coming out now, well, not now, it's been coming out for the last decades, a few decades. But having said so, the ancient teachings, for instance, in yoga, they've actually have known this for thousands of years. So these are just a few reasons why it is important for us to reconnect body and mind. Now, while many of us can feel the more intense or gross reconnection, gross sensations of the body, such as heat, cold, pain, tension, and so forth, we're not so in touch with the more subtle sensations. We also don't take the time to really stay with bodily sensations long enough for us to explore and inquire into sensations and notice how it shifts, how it moves, how it changes, and how there are actually many layers of sensations. If you just are able to stay with one sensation long enough, you're going to uncover that there are actually a lot of subtleties. There are a lot of different layers. It's not just one sensation and that's it. There's actually a lot that's going on if we are able to stay with sensation. We also have many limiting beliefs around how we feel or what we should feel in our bodies. So there are all these concepts in our minds as to even how sensations should show up in our bodies. And that also limits our experience of bodily sensations. Now, did you know that when we sense into our bodies deeply, with openness and curiosity, that our body actually relaxes? It naturally relaxes. As we turn our attention inwards, we are actually practicing mindfulness. In order to fully sense into the body and not think our way there is a difference. Sometimes when we try to feel into sensation, we're actually not feeling from the body, but we're actually maybe thinking about the sensation. Again, that those limiting beliefs as to what we should feel and how these sensations should show up. So notice that too. Are you truly feeling and sensing into the body when you are trying to get in touch with body sensations, or are you actually thinking what sensations are there? So when we're truly sensing, we have to be fully present to the moment. To sense is to be present. So when we practice body sensing, we actually shift our nervous system to a more calm state. We shift our brain out of the default network to the present centered network, which is a state that opens us up to creativity, innovation, insight, and deeper wisdom. It also helps to reduce stress and pain, and it enhances our relaxation, restoration, and healing. So these are just a few benefits as to why we want to get into body sensing, but there's so many more, which I don't have time to share with you right now, but simply put, it improves your health in every single way. So now you might be perhaps thinking about, well, how can we practice body sensing? Well, it's actually really simple. All it really is to take time to be present with sensations that are arising for you in your body. We're not trying to do anything. We're not trying to rush to get anywhere. We're not trying to have any sort of expectation. I know that when we do anything, automatically there's likely an expectation that's generated, whether we're conscious of it or not. But it really is not trying to direct it any certain way. We're not trying to find an answer. It's just being, it's just to sense into what's present and to cultivate a mindset that all is welcome. We're not trying to say this sensation is bad and that sensation is good, because this creates fear and anxiety, right? Especially those of you who may be experiencing chronic pain or, any sorts of pain or discomfort. But, very simply, we can start to sense into perhaps areas of the body or tapping into sensations that you're comfortable with. So if you are experiencing chronic pain, perhaps we don't want to start in the areas of pain, right? Those are not areas to avoid either. Eventually, we want to be able to feel safe enough to be with the pain and discomfort that you feel. But when we're starting out, we don't have to focus on those areas first. In fact, it's probably best not to. And maybe find a more neutral area, or maybe notice some more pleasant sensations, things that you might want to sit with and enjoy a little bit longer. And so, it's really about taking time to be present with sensation. So, rather than just telling you what to do, if you would like to join me, we can do a, really quick body sensing exercise, and just a short exercise here to sense into your hands. And by the way, if you're ever looking for some nice meditation scripts, this book is amazing. The iRest program for healing PTSD. I know this is a book on PTSD, but there's a lot of great stuff. You can see all my tabs here. Great meditations, short ones that you can do for yourself. So I'm going to read a practice here, Sensing Your Hands, from this book by Dr. Richard Miller, who's also the founder of iRest Yoga Nidra meditation, which is a type of meditation that I'm trained in. All right, so this is only going to take a couple of minutes. So give yourself a moment just to be comfortable. And you can have your eyes open. In fact, let's start with eyes open. And just give yourself a moment to just look at your hands. Examine your hands. Looking at the palms, the fingers, the back of the hand. Notice your hand's shape, color, the texture, lines, edges. Notice maybe there are hairs or spots, scars, freckles. Notice your fingernails. Notice the thoughts that come to your mind as you look at your hands. And then now close your eyes and feel your left hand. And let go of any thinking. If you notice you're thinking, try to come back to your experience. Experience the actual sensations that make up your left hand. And you might feel sensations like pulsing or throbbing, or radiating. Notice your hand as a field of sensation. Feel how far this field of sensation reaches. Again, notice if you're getting caught up in your thinking. See if you can come back to sensation in the body. And keep feeling your left hand. Now feel your right hand. Experience the actual sensations that make up your right hand. Again, you might feel sensations like pulsing, throbbing, or radiating. Notice your right hand as sensations. It's a field of sensation. And again, noticing how far this field of sensation reaches. And keep feeling into your right hand. And then see if you can sense into both hands simultaneously. Taking your time. And again, notice if you're going to thinking. And if so, whether we can start to let that thinking mind go and sense the energy and aliveness of your hands and allow them to fully unfold in your awareness. Feel your two hands as a field of sensation that extends out into space. And then you might open your eyes now and keep feeling your hands. And then close your eyes again as you continue to feel in your hands. Begin to welcome sensations throughout the body now. Feel the entire body as sensation. And then open your eyes while you continue to feel your hands and your body. And you might even look around you as you continue to feel into your hands and body. And when you're ready, slowly coming back to your usual state of functioning. So body sensing can be a very quick exercise. You can incorporate it into your day as often as you like. They don't have to be long practices. We spent, just a couple of minutes now, but you can even do shorter practices, even just giving yourself, 30 seconds or something like that to just be really present with sensation. And you might focus on one area of the body if there is something that you want to focus on, or you might just be still and see what sensation arises for you when you begin to listen. And again, like I said, there's not really an intention or an expectation or a particular goal when you're trying to do this. It's more about, okay, let's stay curious and see what's here, what wants to show up. And we're not trying to judge, fix, or change anything that shows up. It's more about, can we just be present to it and allow ourselves to feel into it, feel fully into it. Because sometimes what we often might do is that we want to just point out, okay, here's a sensation, okay, I'm done, and I move on, right? But there, like I said, if you stay with it, you might notice that there's going to be one layer of sensation, and then another layer is going to appear, and then another, and then another, or maybe the sensation might shift and change, or it might expand, and you might start to feel a radiating kind of energy outward that might even extend beyond your physical body. And so a lot of things can happen when we pay attention, but when we go into body sensing as to just, have a certain goal or intention in mind such that once I achieve it, then I'm done, we kind of miss the practice in a way. So if there is any intention to this practice, it's more about, okay, can we stay curious and open and just to see what's here? Are we able to welcome the sensations that are coming to us without trying to change it or fix it or change it, but to just really be present with it? Because as soon as we get into that mode of, I need to fix this, we get into that doing mode. We get into our thinking minds again, which actually takes us away or takes us out of our experience. We're no longer present with it anymore. So this practice can be simple, but sometimes it's not easy because we've been so conditioned to go into our thinking mind. So you might notice that there's a bit of a struggle between the body and the mind, and this is Completely normal. We all have this conflict at one point or another, but it gets easier as we continue to practice. So again, like I said, it doesn't have to be long practices. Just try to incorporate it into your day consistently and regularly. Little but often does the trick. Now, if you'd like to learn more about this, if you would like more support and learn how to do or practice body sensing, I'd be happy to hop on a call with you, share some tips, tools, and practices with you that can help you move in the right direction. And if you enjoyed this mini training, make sure to follow me at Dora Chan Yoga. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I also have a private Facebook group called DCY Community, supporting strong women heal from stress holistically. And I stream these live trainings in that group, but also I share resources, tips, and tools, and meditations, and more in that group. So love for you to join us. So I'll drop the link in the comments if you want to join that group. Now, I also hold monthly events. So I do a Sangha every last Sunday of the month, and I also do a free yoga and meditation class the last week of every month. The yoga class can change, so it's not always the same day. But for this month, we have a Sangha, which people ask me what that is. This is basically a space that I hold where we can come together as a community to dive deeper into various topics. These sessions are live and interactive. We do this via Zoom. We have great discussions and conversations around the topic of the month. So this topic is about embracing change by letting go, or how we can learn to embrace change by letting go. And then we end with a short meditation at the end. So if you are interested, this month we are holding the Sangha on the 26th of September at 8:30 Pacific time. It's about an hour and a half long. And then the free yoga class this month is on Wednesday, September 29th, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. So I'll drop the link to the events that are happening this month. And let me know what your biggest takeaway is. So drop your comments below. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday. Take care now.